A lot of the people that we see here have a lot of childhood trauma, and that is pretty common. And so life has been quite painful for them. The fact that you have no insurance and that you're living in poverty just creates its own set of trauma and of depression that you're typically dealing with. Throughout their life, things have been incredibly difficult, and it's kind of set a life pattern that we can fortunately really help them start new thinking and go a new direction. And that's the wonderful thing about counseling here at Grace Clinic.
When Jessica came in, she had a lot of anger. She was lashing out at people, even people she loved a lot, like her children. And she held a lot of resentment because she had really experienced some really hurtful things. Underneath a lot of this anger really was a lot of hurt. And it wasn't necessarily what happened to Jessica, her dad's passing and the betrayal she experienced from her partner and things like that, but how she interpreted what happened to her. What was really beautiful is that she was really able to confront the past, especially the death of her father. The anger she was holding inside of her never really allowed her to process grief. And being able to have that perspective and that confidence, I can make hard decisions. I can process this passing of my dad. I can integrate his passing into my life so that he's not gone forever. She was able to make goals. She was able to see a future. And it was a really beautiful process to see that as she confronted the past, she now had the present and also had a future.
This patient ended up coming into our medical side and was complaining about having just some depression and some anxiety. He shared with me his backstory of basically being kicked out of his house when he was 18 for a couple years, never really having a stable place to stay, trying to find employment and whatnot. And eventually, over some time here, another kind of chaotic moment struck him where his friends basically ended up telling him to leave. Something that this normally in the past for him would have tailspun him and put him into a depression and probably put him on the street. He came in a week later just really excited and telling me about how he was able to find a place and that he was moving in pretty quickly. And I was so excited for him and also honored that I got to be part of that journey with him and helping him to discover who he really is and the value that he truly has. I honestly am just very grateful for Grace Clinic. Honestly, it's been around for a long time. My family's worked and volunteered with them for a long time. I've gotten to see firsthand the impact they have on the Tri-Cities, and it's incredible. It really is incredible, and it helps so many people that aren't just even located in the Tri-Cities. Sometimes they move on to Spokane, sometimes they move back to Mexico or other locations. But what they are learning and what they're receiving is God's love in this place, and that's definitely needed in our area and beyond.
Of course, there's people who aren't just quite ready for this work, but the majority, I would say, leave here incredibly thankful for the changes in their own lives. And oftentimes we'll hear, well, my children are telling me, Mom, you're different. My husband's telling me that I'm different. And that's what we're looking for, is helping these individuals find peace, to be able to think appropriately and recognize their hurt, but not be limited by it.